recept. Hello everyone, how are you guys doing today? I thought I'd give it a couple minutes, not really much, but we got like 2 minutes. 2 minutes, you guys can't hear me. Oh, you can, okay, great. So, I thought I was going to give it a couple more minutes, which I think I will still give it a couple more minutes. Before we get started, we had a whole bunch of people who were supposed to be on, but doesn't seem like... excuse me. It doesn't seem like we have a lot of people who have submitted. So that's going to be a problem. Alright? Oh, wait. Heard about the... Alright, take care of that one. That'll be one, so that's good. Alright. Alright, so how's everyone doing? You guys surviving well? Doing okay? Staying healthy? Safe? I can't upload my video here or to the email. Did you upload it to YouTube or... Oh my goodness, it was YouTube or oh my goodness, what's the other one? So there's YouTube, Dailymotion. There's an array of different like video hosting sites, like or Vimeo. Thank you. My goodness, Vimeo. You got to put it on there. You can't put you can't just upload the video to here. YouTube, and I tried sending it to your email. Let's see. Alan. Let's see what we got. Yeah, see that. Said you tried sending it to me. I don't have anything in my emails because all you would be sending me is a link, right? I don't have anything else. I don't have anything from you except, like it won't send Vimeo, YouTube, and I tried sending it to your email. Is it up on YouTube, or are you having problems still getting it onto YouTube? Side note, I emailed you pertaining my project grade. Yes, I emailed you. I emailed you back. Really? That's interesting. I mean, I guess that might be, I don't know, it might be an internet thing. Okay. Quick question, are you allowed to go back and comment how many points will be taken? Yes, go back and comment. I was like, yes, go and comment for sure. Huh. The fact that it's not saying that you timed out. I don't know how big your presentation is. But the only thing that I could think of as far as why it would say it was timed out is because your internet isn't necessarily letting it go through. The other thing I would try is Vimeo, right? Try that. Vimeo is another web hosting company, a website. So it might just not like YouTube for some reason, or if you have a certain browser, try a different browser. It's the only thing I can think of as to why it wouldn't work. Get this one. Alright, so that's 2 people. Let's see who's left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 people. And then we've got... Oh. Sorry, didn't see this. Okay. We're all still presenting. Are we still presenting next week? Yes. We have to. We still have, after today, we still have a good 7 people who need to present. So, yes, there will be one, because grades will be due the week after, so that is the last time to present. Get, you know, people are talking about the review on the grades and stuff like that. You know, I'm looking and I'm like, well, I'll probably put up something for grades, you know, for the quizzes, just in case if people are trying to get different quizzes. Like I said, the pass fail, that thing, pretty much you guys are all set, you know, as long as you keep getting into the comment section and and posting, and then you do your presentation, you guys are all super set, right? For those of you who are trying to get traditional grades, I still need to know, because then we'll have to calculate it out, right? And see what we can still do. Sorry, I'm looking at this video. It says unable to share. It's really small. Hold on. To share. Are you doing this so you're... So are you trying to... Angel, are you trying to upload it through your phone? I said, yeah. Dohawk. That's how you spell it. Doesn't seem like it. Did you send it in an email, or is it up in the discussion board? Posted in Blackboard. See that one. Nope, it didn't come through in Blackboard. We only have one where you talked about attendance. That's the only one that I have. So, I don't know. Okay, so, let's see. I'm not emailing nothing. Okay, hold on. Let's see what we got here. Let's go through. We're still presenting. Okay, I sent what it keeps saying you. Okay, so, Taheja, are you trying to send it through your phone? Because you might need to try and send it through your computer. If if you don't have if the computer's not working, then I don't know as far as how it's working on how your phone is handling that. Okay, that's one thing I don't know. Trying to upload it through your phone, you might need wireless. You might actually need to go through wireless. As far as uploading from your phone, I don't know why it would give you that as far as timing out. Generally, what happens when it says that it's timed out, or there was an error, is because it's not sending enough information to the host. Okay. All right. Did you get my video? Shakita, I did not get your video, and I do not see it in the discussion. Hold on, let's refresh. Maybe it's there now. Nope. Okay, so if you have the link, just go ahead and post it back into the discussion board, and it'll pop right up at the beginning. Okay, HG. I emailed you pertaining. Yep, I'm not emailing nothing. I mean sending. Like, I'm not. I don't. HJ. I don't understand what. Like, Angel, I don't understand what you're saying. I'm not emailing nothing. I wasn't talking. Yeah, I was talking to someone else. And okay, I'm trying to upload it to my email so I can download it to my computer and add it to Blackboard. But if it won't let me, but it won't let me even upload it to my email or anything else. You know what? There might, if that's the case, to where everything is broken, it might actually be an issue with the recording. There might have been an issue with the recording. For the people doing traditional grades, remember that test you said you're going to have. How is that going to happen? What do we need to study? So traditional grades. So traditional grades as far as grading for that, and the big test at the end to try and cover up all the other tests. I will give a test, a modified test, okay, and it's gonna be easy. All right, we're gonna make sure that it serves you guys in the end, okay? So as far as what you need to study, we're not gonna go backwards. We're not gonna go backwards. We're not gonna try and make it so that you have to try and remember all the old stuff. All right. So just make sure you pay attention to this presentation. Look at the last videos, and don't worry about it. We'll go from there. Okay. And I'll make sure to post it next week, and then you'll have until the end of the week to actually do it, and then that'll be that. Okay. I'm gonna try and post it again. Okay. Are you starting a new thread? You have to start a new thread in the discussion board, okay? Shakita, post a new thread. They don't want to see me great. I know, trying, right? Don't worry, we're going to be here to help out. Okay? Alright, so we might as well just go ahead and get started with the ones that we have. Okay? And as we move along, we'll just keep going, okay? So I'm going to go to this one. Pause it. Let it load. Okay, we're going to pause it. Let it load. Then I'm going to get rid of me.
Our basic thought of art consists of paintings, drawings, sketchings, sculptures, and murals. But what if I told you that plastic surgery is also considered an art form? In basic art appreciation class, we learn that art is a expression. It is communication. And art can also invoke feelings, emotions, and people interpret it differently. But what if I told you that plastic surgery is an art form because people see it as making something more enhanced and more beautiful? I read an article on how a plastic surgeon considered himself an artiste. Not an artist, but an artiste. He said that the art of plastic surgery is very precise, taking someone from one form and making them into another art form. This art can consist of rhinoplasties, breast augmentations, Brazilian butt lifts, liposuction, eyebrow lifts, rib removal, eyelid surgery, and you guessed it, lip fillers. Yes. And because, like I said earlier, that art is a form of expression, it is greatly considered that plastic surgeons do have to have an insight of artistic vision to do the plastic surgery routines. There are two different types of plastic surgery that is considered art. One is reconstructive surgery. As you can see from the picture, the client had sustained injuries to their face. And then the plastic surgery remodeled, reshaped, recurved different elements of their face to give them more of a self-esteem boost and so that they can go back into society feeling normal. And here's the end result of that. The most common plastic surgery art form that we see nowadays consists of social media's muses. The most notable people that encourages plastic surgery are the Kardashians. And you guessed it, I'm going to talk about Kylie Jenner today. So, as you can see from the picture right here, Kylie Jenner is in her teen years, around 17, 18 years old. Her face is just her face. But then you can see a gradual change of how her lips start to develop more curve, more poutiness, fuller definition. And this is considered art because people see this as beautiful and people copied her and got her lip fillers. They also saw her body. Now in history, we know that a lot of artists were not ashamed to draw every detail of the body out. As you can see right here, this is considered art, one of the most famous and most notable arts of the human body for a female or a male. That's because the artist did not put clothes on to their paintings or their sculptures. But in our society, we claim that having curves and lumptuousness is what makes somebody beautiful. It's aesthetic. And aesthetic, the definition of an aesthetic is something that is beautiful, something that is seen as exotic, something that is seen as something that's not common. So when Kylie Jenner went from having a body like this to a body like this, people saw this as art and wanted to copy and get the same art form that she had. Now there's a difference between cosmetic art and reconstructive art. Cosmetic art is the things that are most commonly done, such as for example, I don't like my nose, so I want my nose skinnier, right? So they're going to chisel and break my nose bone and pull my nose in. Now, I don't think I look cute like this, so I wouldn't consider it a rhinoplasty. But somebody else may think that's beautiful and that's culturally accepted. They want to get that. Another thing is a lot of people consider getting plastic surgery because they want to look culturally aesthetic or culturally pleasing. They want to fit into what the people's idea of being culturally beautiful is. So while other people may think that's outrageous and that's different, in a different culture that might be accepted and that's their version of beauty. For example, in Korea, their form of beauty is having skinnier jaws, so they'll get plastic surgery where the surgeon will chisel with a special tool. They have to be asleep. They will chisel and break their jawbone, reconstruct it, and make it smaller, so it will be smaller like this. Because in Eastern culture, that is considered beautiful. To people in Western cultures, that may not seem as beautiful, so they may opt for something that's more socially acceptable. But we all see in the magazines of plastic surgery, good and bad. This is a good plastic surgery in the eyes of society, and this is more of a bad type of plastic surgery. But in the client's eyes, this was what they wanted, and this is what their perception of beauty was. So in plastic surgery, your perception is your own art form, and you are your own art. You're your own chisel, and you're your own paint. So you paint how you want to be. So that's how plastic surgery is an art form.
Pictures of faces are on display at this Soho gallery, but the featured artists aren't photographers, they're doctors. I Am Art exhibits before, during, and after images of reconstructed noses, lips, and breasts. Dr. Anthony Burlett is a featured artist and the curator of this exhibit. He says that he chose to focus on procedures like rhinoplasty over simple facelifts because of the skill involved.
I think that really to understand it structurally and be able to alter it to the point where you can say, this is what I want to create for you, this is how I'm going to create it. I think that takes an artistic skill, a good eye, and a certain amount of creativity.
And that process comes to life in videos displayed alongside the sometimes gruesome stills. The viewer is invited to watch the remaking of a baby's lip and a woman's nose in gory detail, an up-close and personal look not appreciated by all audiences.
There's an uncomfortable voyeuristic sense to this whole thing. You know, hospitals are very strict about letting people into the operating room, and it's for exactly this reason, because it is an intensely personal thing, and I don't know that it needs to be exhibited.
Burlett says he was aware going in of the shock value of his material, but he insists that just showing before and after shots would not have done justice to a profession that he sees as artistic.
I wanted to show so much that it's not just a shave, crack. It's a whole sculpting of the tip and reshaping and playing with cartilage just to create that shape. So it's not just a simple cut, trim. There's a whole creative process to it.
Judging by overall viewer reaction, it may be a while before plastic surgery is widely considered art.
Plastic surgery is a definite art form because the surgeon has to artistically view the patient, then get what the patient's idea of their beauty concept is, and make it work for them. It takes a lot of sketching, a lot of thought, and a lot of patience for the plastic surgeon to create this reality for the patient. Plastic surgery can also be seen as a form of escapism because a person sees something that they think is culturally beautiful or aesthetic, and they desire to get that, and that's their way of leaving whatever's not making them happy about themselves. So just like we learned in art class how plastic surgery can be an art form, plastic surgery, just like social media, is a way for people to escape the reality or the things that make them feel bad about themselves, and to open up a brand new horizon on how they could feel better and how they can not only feel better but look the part. Plastic surgeons put a lot of time and effort into doing their surgeries. We never look at it, but when the plastic surgeons do their operations, every single cut, line, Sharpie mark, the way they sew the skin back together and the way they cut the skin open in an asymmetrical or symmetrical line is considered art. The way they can shift your nose up or bring your eyebrow down or move one breast higher or move the breast lower, it is all considered art. So if someone were to ask you, do you think plastic surgery is an art form, what would you say?
All right. I think that one was really good. That was really well put together. You had a very strong idea of what you were going to do. And I think you nailed it by referring back to art, back to escapism, back to referring to actual art pieces and showing how this could be, tying in the fact that you found a gallery show about plastic surgery and stuff like that. That was great. I mean, that was great. That's all I gotta say. Good job. Good job. All right. My thing was going off. So this one. Let's see if something came through. All right. So I did get another one. Yeah. Final project. Okay, we got that. All right. So we do have a link. When you play it, the sound will go in and out because my speaker to my phone is messed up. That's the only way I could record it. All right, so we do have another one. So, Shakita, I just got yours. Okay. I'm going to go through this list here. Sierra. Whoop! Not found. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, I see. Never mind. Whoa. My bad. Let's see. Stop it. Okay, so we have presentation. Wait. Okay, presentation. Sorry. Try to copy too much stuff. Because we got two separate videos. Oh, you gotta make it not private. Sierra, you gotta make it public so we can see it. I think this is the extra video you wanted to show. Yep.
When Renee?
Okay. Your main presentation, you gotta make it public, otherwise we can't look at it. Or unlisted. Public or unlisted, because if it's unlisted, then I can still, with the link, I can still go to it. But if it's set to private, there's nothing I can do. Can't look at it. Okay, so I'll just wait for you to... I'll go to the next person, and then we'll come back, okay? That was good. That over an art form case. Nice job. Yep, it was a good one. Okay, we'll go to Freddie. No, don't want to do it that way. Go back.
Hey everyone, my name is Fred.
Okay, turn you down a little bit. Alright, I'm going to get rid of me. Okay. Here we go.
Freddie. I am an artist, a student at Norfolk State University, of course, and I did my presentation on art therapy. I definitely learned a lot from this presentation, so I hope you guys take something from this that you can apply to your everyday life, and I hope you enjoy. So the reason why I chose art therapy as a topic is because I love art, and two, I've been always interested in mental health and finding new ways to improve my overall well-being. And while looking back at my personal experiences and combined research, I would say, with art therapy, I came to the conclusion that creative art is the best tool for stress relief. So let's break this down. There's a lot of different forms of creative art. There's visual art, painting, drawing, drama, puppetry, music, and the list goes on. But today, we'll be addressing two of them, music and visual art. Now, why do I believe that creative art is the best form of therapy? I'll take you all back to the earlier parts of my life to get a better understanding of how I came to this conclusion. This is me in preschool, working on an arts and crafts project. I don't remember too much from these earlier times, but what I do remember is the feelings that I felt while creating art. Joy, excitement, peace, maybe even happiness. But little did I know that things were about to get rocky. As a kid in middle school, I was the quiet, introverted kid, and that hasn't really changed much. My parents taught me to treat others with respect, and that's what I did. But somehow, that didn't stop me from getting bullied. Why? Because people are trash. I would spend the next few years pretty much using my talents to help me deal with my mental health and help me relieve stress. Now, one of the things that helped me get through these tough times was, of course, music. So my love for creative art expanded from visual art to music, not just listening to music, but actually playing it. I eventually learned how to play guitar, which brought me the same joy that I felt when creating art. And this was around the same time I discovered classical music. Now, I've listened to pretty much every genre: rap, indie, rock, jazz, but for some reason, classical music brought me the most comfort and somehow reduced my stress levels and helped me with anxiety and depression more than any other genre. And through the research I've done, I discovered that classical music is actually proven to lower your blood pressure. And I still listen to it. Actually, I listen to it while drawing every now and then. I pretty much listen to it everywhere. I mean, it was therapeutic. And I guess the question is why? And that's what we're going to be addressing today. Many of us have our go-to songs when we want to feel energized, optimistic, or relaxed. But how often do we analyze how our music selections help us relieve stress? So music in creative art therapy is used to affect positive changes in the psychological, physical, or social functioning of individuals with health problems. Now, I'm sure that most of us have used music as therapy without even knowing. I mean, music is one of the tools that's easily accessible to us, not just as an escape, but as a tool to help us get through different challenges life throws at us. Whenever experiencing tough times in life, you sometimes feel like you're alone. Then you play that one song that just somehow speaks to your situation, and you realize that you're not the only person going through the things that you're going through. You realize that you actually have somebody that you can relate to. You no longer feel alone. You walk away feeling better than you did before. And in order to better understand why music helps reduce stress levels, we got to take a deeper look into how stress actually works. So there's a stress hormone in our bodies called cortisol. Whenever you're stressed out, cortisol is released in your body. Now, when your cortisol levels are too high, this can interfere with learning, it can interfere with memory, lower immune functions, weight gain, blood pressure, heart disease, all that bad stuff. And by saying all of this, you can see that elevated cortisol levels don't only affect your physical health, but also your mental health, increasing risks for depression, mental illness, and lower life expectancy. So I guess the question is, can creative art actually help avoid these? Basketball, you'll notice that a lot of the athletes listen to music before games to get their mind in check. And what people sort of fail to realize is that you can not only use music as something to keep you focused and engaged in a particular task, but you can also use it as a distraction. For example, a lot of times people find it hard to sit in silence during meditation. So what they do is they play music in the background in order to create somewhat of a focal point, something to focus on and keep your mind from wandering. Now, a few things I like about music as therapy is the fact that it's easily accessible, it's portable, and as we learned in class, it's one of the most expressive art forms, and it's one of the many reasons why creative art is the best tool for dealing with mental health. So now moving on to visual art. Visual art is sort of a subcategory of creative art. It includes painting, drawing, crafts, and the list goes on. In 2016, a study was conducted where researchers provided about 40 people with art supplies. Nothing too fancy, just some paper, a few markers, collage materials, and clay. They were told to create whatever they wanted for 45 minutes. At the end of the experiment, the scientists realized that regardless of artistic experience, there were no significant differences in outcomes, and about 75% of the participants experienced a decrease in their levels of cortisol. That's the stress hormone that we discussed previously. Now, when engaged in creative activities, you're pulled away from feelings of stress. And this study shows us that many of us can benefit from art therapy, and you don't have to be the greatest artist in the world to reap the benefits. And even if you can't seem to pull yourself away from the stress, you can incorporate your feelings and emotions into your art. And in the process of creating, you might pick up what psychologists refer to as a flow. Now this state of flow can be experienced when dancing, playing an instrument, or in our case, creating art. And if we really take a look at this, we can only imagine that it's what, for example, basketball players feel when they go on scoring streaks and score 81-point games, or what musicians feel when they solo on stages. But thankfully, this state of flow isn't something that's reserved for the chosen few. It's something that we can attain through creative art in the comfort of our own homes. And at the same time that we engage in these activities, we lower our stress levels, we benefit our physical health and our mental health, and get that much closer to becoming the best version of ourselves. It's convenient and it saves us money. Not everybody has access to a therapist. Not everyone can afford a therapist. But with creative art, you have access to therapeutic tools that you can take with you pretty much everywhere. Your daily commute to work, daily commute to school, or in our case, from your house while on quarantine. So I challenge you, and I'll be doing the same challenge. I challenge you to take about 45 minutes of your day, just 45. That's literally, just to put it in perspective, less than one episode of Stranger Things on Netflix. And if that's too much for you, that's fine. Cut it in half. Take out about 20 minutes. I want you to play some music. Doesn't have to be classical music. Play your favorite songs or your favorite album, your favorite artist, whatever. Get some paper, get some pencils, get some crayons, get some markers. Take your mind off things. Bring down those cortisol levels. Don't focus on making anything perfect. Color outside the lines if you have to. Just create something. And by the time you're done, your stress levels should be lower than what they were before. All right. So this concludes my presentation. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. I definitely did. And yeah, thanks.
Oh, all right. So that was another great one. That was really good too. It broke it down. It showed us what it did. It gave us studies. It told us that was, one of the most powerful, and gave us examples from music to actual therapy to that was good. That was a good statement, and I think it was defended very well. I think that was great. It was all visual. You didn't have to be on all the time. If for those people who still have to go and they're like, man, I really don't want to be in front of the camera. This is a great example of how to do that without being on the camera the whole time. But that was a good presentation. I mean, good job. Very good job. All right, let's keep moving on. We're on a streak today. Let's see. Sierra, did you make it public yet? Let's see. Yeah, I can tell there was a lot of editing that went into that one, so let's see. We free clear? Nope, still not. Was good. Alright, go to the next one.
Hi.
Bigger. Get me out of here.
My name is Monique Benefield, and I'm going to talk about the art form of football. Football is an art form because people use it as a passion to express feelings throughout the sport of the game. I'm more so going to bring up on why it should be a canceled art form, based that it is a gateway of brain diseases, brain injuries, and just all in general. I think it should be canceled. That's just my opinion. Like, it should be canceled. So I'm going to tell you why I think that this sport is very dangerous for the humanity of society. So stay tuned and I'll explain more details on what I mean by that. Why I think football is very dangerous art form and dangerous in general to human society is because it causes the number one non-noticeable disease, which is called CTE. CTE tends to get swept under the rug based that football has a lot of money to sweep it under the rug. You may not know about it, but that's what I'm here for. I'm here to tell you why you should just cut football out altogether. CTE's ground zero patient was Mike Webster, who had played for a very long time. When he passed, he had missing teeth, he was homeless, and he was living out his car. And when they looked deeper in his brain by this famous doctor who made this movie, y'all should have already seen it already. I mean, it was a good movie, had Will Smith in it. But besides the point, this is the doctor I'm talking about. I'll have the name right here. I just don't know how to pronounce it, but you get the point. Mike Webster, at the time of his death, had originally died from heart attack, but when looked into his brain, he had a brain of a 75-year-old. Mike Webster played guards and center while playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is the most defensive team in football in America. He played from 1974 to 1990. After his passing, he was the first discovery of CTE in the NFL. I'm going to play a short video to show and discuss a little bit more deeper into what exactly CTE is. So, yeah.
Concussion, also known as a mild traumatic brain injury, occurs when a collision or jolt causes the brain to move rapidly inside the skull. CTE, or chronic traumatic encephalopathy, is a progressive degenerative disease of the brain found in athletes and others with a history of repetitive brain trauma, including symptomatic concussions and asymptomatic subconcussive hits to the head. Recent reports have been published of neuropathologically confirmed CTE in retired professional football players and other athletes who have a history of repetitive brain trauma. This trauma can trigger progressive degeneration of the brain tissue. Signs and symptoms of CTE usually begin 8 to 10 years after repetitive mild traumatic brain injury. Symptoms of CTE are similar to those of Alzheimer's disease or dementia, including memory loss, confusion, impulsiveness, and depression.
Mainly, CTE causes symptoms like aggression, and it stops your brain from having the ability to make wiser decisions. Therefore, you will make decisions that is not too good for you. And the examples I will have will show you why. It really will make you have an understanding on, okay, they really did have CTE. These are football players that I had researched of who actually came out to have CTE after they had deceased. So CTE is only diagnosed when a person is deceased and it is time for the autopsy. It is researched that 110 out of 111 of NFL players will have CTE in the future. You are more likely to have CTE if you play lineman or guard and center. This is Terry Long. He played for the Pittsburgh Steelers for 8 seasons between 1980 and 1990. Due to the struggles of living with CTE, he had drank antifreeze to kill himself. This is Justin. He also played for the Pittsburgh Steelers between 1990 into the 2000s. After his career was over, at age 36, he decided to take his life and run into a fuel tanker on the highway. This is Andre Waters. He played for the Philadelphia Eagles between 1984 and 1995. He was NFL's hardest hitting defenders. But that soon came to an end November 20th, 2006, after he took his life due to suicide. After his death, it was discovered that he had severe advanced CTE, and he was only 45. This is Justin Seal. He was in between teams between 1990 and 2009. He had a long battle of CTE, but that soon came to an end when he decided to take his life due to suicide. This is Aaron Hernandez. He played for the Patriots between 2010 and 2012, and he had the highest severe case of CTE at his age. He took his life due to suicide, and he was only 27. CTE is a form of Alzheimer's disease, and it literally deteriorates your mind as the more you play the sport. It really doesn't matter whether you have a helmet or not. Yeah, they had inputted more rules and more strict rules and controls over the helmets and everything, but then you still have those type of people in football who really don't care about the rules and will use their head as a defense mechanism, and that makes the sport more of a risk. Please remember, before playing this sport, are you willing to put your passion over your safety of your mental health?
All right. So that one really did have a statement, right? Hard-hitting statement going right after America's #1 sport, all right? It's saying that it was an art form and then that it should instantly be banned, right? That is a very divisive statement to make, and I think you made some really good points, right? I think that you made some good points about stopping football, right? And I think that your case for CTE and how dangerous it is and stuff like that absolutely makes sense. But the art form, right? I think you diverged from the idea of what this assignment is supposed to be as far as, relating it back to art. And it started off with football is art, right? And we're like, okay, I agree with that. And then I'm going to talk about how I want to ban it. And you're like, what? Right? So I think that if you actually would have brought in more of how enticing the art of football is and how it draws in so many people and for what reasons, right? So you make it look really, really nice, and then you go, but here's how dangerous it gets. this is where the point is where it's bad, right? And then you would be able to balance those two out, but you went really, really heavy on CTE, and you're like, this is bad, this is why we shouldn't do it. And I think you did a great job explaining why football is dangerous, right? But you needed to explain more about the art form, right? How that was going to be related back to the class, if that makes sense, okay? But as far as the argument that you were making, that this needs to be banned, or this, it's dangerous and you should really consider what you're doing, then you did a good job with that. It's just that you need to be able to relate it back to art for it to really fit with the class. Okay? But still a good job. Let's see if... Alright, let's see. I'll go back to Sierra. Oh, I think we got it. All right. So we got another one. Get rid of myself.
Okay. Hey y'all. My name is Sierra. How did I forget that? My name is Sierra, and today my presentation is on why tattoos should be allowed in the workplace. I am going to try to insert some pictures or whatever, and I'm gonna try to do a video. I might have to drop the link because my MacBook broke and I'm using my phone, so it's a disaster. But I'm about to just start jumping. So why tattoos should be allowed in the workplace? I'm gonna start with the history behind it. So Samuel O'Reilly, he invented the tattoo machine in 1891. The first documented man to have a tattoo was Iceman. And in 2006, Oklahoma legalized tattooing. That was the last state to legalize tattooing. I have three main ideas that I would like to touch upon. So the first one would be why people don't allow tattoos, like why workplaces don't allow tattoos. First one would be because they are afraid of how the company will be viewed or represented. Another one would be they want a clean image for their tattoo, and the boss may think that if you have a tattoo, you're being rebellious or you're trying to draw attention to yourself. And which you don't think that if you have tattoos, like you wouldn't think that, oh, just because I have tattoos that I'm trying to get attention and everything. And also that 61% of the HR managers said that having tattoos will lower your chances of getting a job. Tattoos, you can be a doctor and I wouldn't know you had tattoos because of the uniform that you wear. Most doctors have on them white jackets or whatever, so you can have tattoos you wouldn't know. You won't know. And I don't think that shit will hurt. Just because you have tattoos hurt your performance. Like if you're my doctor and you have tattoos, I wouldn't sit here and be like, oh, you got tattoos, I don't think you're a good doctor. That's not what I don't feel like that's what you're supposed to look at. You're supposed to look at their performance overall, not their appearance with tattoos. Now, yeah, just with tattoos. Another idea would be why people should allow tattoos. So society has changed a lot with tattoos, with a lot of things. People are coming out more and everything. So having tattoos basically is a way to express yourself in art, with your art. 1 in 10 Americans have tattoos. And a lot of people have tattoos for good reasons. Basically, everybody has it for a good reason. So saying that I can't show my tattoo or this or that would be offensive, because you never know. Like most people have tattoos of like when they had cancer and they're a survivor, so they have that. So telling me that I have to cover my tattoo probably is offensive to me, because I feel like that I'm a cancer survivor. This means something to me. I should be able to show it. Another one was does having tattoos affect your work? Tattoos, there's no proof that having a tattoo affect you mentally about your work performance. I have tattoos and it hasn't affected me and what I do. All my tattoos are encouraging and mean something. So if anything, a lot of people get them for that. So I don't think it affect your job personally. It's not like you got I don't know. A tattoo shouldn't affect. Just because I have a tattoo doesn't mean that I can't perform this well. Like, just because I have a tattoo don't mean I can't be the best nurse or be what can I like. Having a tattoo doesn't stop you from performing well or getting a higher position. Like, if you're an excellent worker, then that should matter. Your evaluation should matter more than my body appearance of tattoos and piercings and stuff like that. Certain things I feel like they shouldn't allow, like tattoos on the face, no. But like anywhere else should be okay, because your face represents a lot. Your face, like if you're in a business, your face represent that business. So you shouldn't put tattoos on your face. That's the one thing. But anywhere else should be okay. A lot of people, like a lot of employees and bosses, and feel that like if you have tattoos that you are dirty. And I don't know if they get that because like a lot of people have those sleeves and stuff, but I don't think it's artwork. Like, I don't think having that sleeve will affect anything. I don't get where they said having tattoos mean that you're lazy. When I researched this, it was like a lot of bosses think that you're lazy if you have a tattoo. That don't make any sense. Also, they say that it's unprofessional to have, like, in a job to have tattoos on your face. Very unprofessional. But anywhere else, no, because obviously that tattoo means something to you for you to get it. People just don't get ink just because. I think everybody get it because it's a reason to have this tattoo. Percentage in the United States with tattoos. So women have 23% more tattoos than men. When it comes to race and tattoos, Hispanic have the most. They have 30%, and then it's blacks with 21, and then whites have 20. Age group wise, a lot of teens are starting to get tattoos, so it says it's 22%, and then between the ages 25 to 30 to 29 is 30%, and then 30 to 39 is 38%. Actually, the job that has the most people that get tattoos is the military. And it's crazy because my friends is going to the military have tattoos now. I'm just like, oh wow. And then the second highest would be agriculture, and then the third would be in the government. There are 45 million people that have tattoos. 45 million. When it comes to me and my tattoos, personal experience with tattoos, I have 3. I am about to get another one. I'm gonna try to insert the pictures of my tattoos, but one of my first tattoo I got when I was 16, and I got it right here on this side, and it says "My strength and my redeemer" with big angel wings and a cross. I got that when after I had surgery. I had 10 surgeries when I was 16, and so I felt like that was something like I accomplished from being sick. So, and I was like, my strength and my redeemer, like the Lord was basically doing me the whole process. On my second tattoo I got, I'm sorry y'all, the tattoo's right here because it's so much. But the first one, the second one is right here. You can barely see it, but it starts right here and go down, and it's my birthday in Roman numerals. I just like that. And then the third one I got in August before I came to school. It says Lord, what do it say? Oh, you were given this life because you're strong enough to live it with a butterfly. Get out. And I don't think my tattoos affect my work and what I do. I have had 3 jobs, and they didn't say anything about my tattoos. Well, I mean, the jobs I had, they cover up, like the shirt, you know, it covers up, and then I had on pants. And then I never wore, like, when I wore a skirt, it was a pencil skirt, so it always covered the thigh one too. So they're really not exposed unless I wear, like, this one's not exposed until I wear like a tank top or something. And if I wear shorts or ripped jeans, then that's when you can see the thigh one. But my future career really don't want me to have tattoos. I want to be a nurse, and they don't want you to have visible tattoos. Like, you know, you wear the scrubs and it starts right here. So if you have tattoos, they tell you to wear long sleeve shirts or whatever. But times have changed, and since I've been to the hospital, like been in and out of the hospital, all my nurses have had tattoos. And one of my nurses, she had a sleeve, and she was like that she didn't really get her tattoo until she was done with her clinicals and stuff, her sleeve, and she had started working. She was like, they didn't say anything. They haven't said anything or mentioned. She was like I said, things have changed, society have changed, so people use their body and tattoos to express themselves. And I like having tattoos. I plan on getting more. I do want to get something on my arm, like right here, but I think I will, most likely I'm going to wait and wait until I get my job and everything, because the tattoo I want, it goes down here, so you will see it. But tattoos don't harm, like, it's no harm to people. I haven't seen nobody, like, some people say tattoos, like, certain people get tattoos for racism, but I haven't seen any racist tattoos. Like, I haven't seen nobody be like, oh, read my tattoo and it's racist, you know? So I don't think tattoos harm people. They don't affect what you do. It's your body. That's what I think companies need to understand too. It's your body, and you should be able to do what you want to do, but also abide by the company rules. But yeah, I'm going to put a video so y'all can get a little more about this lady and her job when she interviewed for her job and everything, get her all her tattoos. But yes, this is my presentation.
When Renee Jennings interviewed for her job at a Brooklyn real estate office, she kept the 6 tattoos on her arms covered.
Obviously, with tattoos, you can't go into an office unless you're applying for something that requires you to be tattooed. You can't walk into an office that way. So I have on a full business suit.
Once she had the job, though, the jacket came off and the tattoos came out.
I think that when I begin to speak and I begin to communicate with people, they understand that I'm more than just tattoos.
Catherine Lilly is her boss. She says the tattoos have had no impact on Renee's job performance.
She does her job well. She promotes the company well. She does everything and above and beyond what you would normally expect.
Did you write out the description for that one?
While this boss sees beyond tattoos, some employers may not have the same vision.
We like to think we don't judge books by their covers, but the reality is a lot of people do.
But there's no doubt tattoos are more mainstream. A 2008 survey showed a quarter of U.S. adults in their 30s and 32% of 25 to 29-year-olds have at least one. But it's the placement of body art that could be the issue.
You do have to be careful about that. Again, you want to take into account when you're getting a tattoo in the first place, what kind of job are you in, what kind of career do you want to have.
Despite their popularity, visible tattoos could still lead some to question your professionalism. Gabrielle Barnes was hesitant to hire Renee Jennings as the PR rep for her women's empowerment group.
There are professional women in here, and I didn't want them to, not take us as seriously because of her tattoos and maybe think it was a bit unprofessional.
That concern is not shared by her other boss.
So if they suddenly get shocked that here's this woman with tattoos, then that's a fault of theirs. It's not mine or Renee's. That's something that's wrong with them.
Who I am is who I am. I stand behind my tattoos. I stand behind the decisions that I make.
Stephanie Elam, CNN, New York.
All right, so, that one was good about tattoos, I don't know, it would have been, I don't know, it just seemed as though what you were trying to defend, it's like, you're like, oh, it should be allowed in the workplace, but then it wasn't really related as much as it should have been back to the art form and how it could help, or how it, how the misconception of hindrance, or self-expression, tattoos allow you to do so much. We even talked about tattoos in class and about how expressive they are and how they do tell things about you and they all have a story and stuff like that. But you needed more art. You needed to connect it back to the class, as far as what it was hey, I'm saying that it should be allowed into the workplace. Okay. It's like, all right, great. But I don't know if there was really a definitive answer as to why. Why should it be allowed? You shouldn't judge, a book by its cover or something like that. You should look at their performance. But, as a counterpoint, someone would go, well, if I come in to a doctor's office for the first time and I happen to be a judgmental person, I can't actually, get to their performance because I don't know it. I see them first. And if I'm already judgmental, and it's generally what happens, if you're a judgmental person, you're going to judge by what you see, and you won't even give it time to perform to go, hey, I am more than that, So I just think that there could have been a little bit more of an oomph behind why it should be related, or why we should actually allow it into the workplace, and why it turns into art, like why the art should also be allowed, because you'll see people, you could have taken it to like clothing, right? And it was like, oh well, we don't have a ban like on clothing. There's not a, oh well, your artistic style as far as who you are as a style doesn't necessarily it doesn't have as much of an impact as a tattoo does. You could have related it to a couple different things that are allowed in the workplace and how this is being judged unfairly. This art is being judged unfairly. Okay? So I think just a little bit more relating it back to the actual class would have made that a little bit stronger. Okay? Alright, and I think we got one more. Let's go back. Yep. Okay, with that one, I'm going to go back to class, to my email. Okay, template. Vacation. Alright. This is the last one we have today. Oops, not what I wanted to do. Here. There we go.
Good afternoon, class.
Oh, hold on. Make that bigger. Alright.
And today my statement that I will be defending is whether you twist your hair, braid your hair, or leave your hair at its natural mane, your hair is natural art. There are different ways to take care of your hair, and taking care of your hair is not always easy. You gotta have consistency, and you gotta have motivation to keep doing it. So many people take care of their hair many different ways, especially depending on the texture of hair you have. Some people may have thicker hair. Some people may have thinner hair. Some people might have shorter hair. Some people might have longer hair. And most people don't do nothing to their hair. They just let it grow how it grow. Like do some plaits all over or something, or a lot of protective styles, and let it grow on its own. Some people actually use different methods of taking care of their hair. Like me, I use every night. I make sure like I tie down or like do the bandit method. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's like when you take different scrunchies and you pull your hair, not actually pull your hair, but like do this, put the bangs on it, put your scrunchies all over it, like stretching method. Or sometimes I might do big plaits all over. Or I might do cornrows all over, so like going down this way and down and back. Or flat twist if I want to end up like a little more curvier. And people use different products. You know, many different products affect our hair differently. Me, I use this brand, like the Tea Tree brand. Or I use Human Nature, or I even make my own. So normally when I make my own, if I make my own shampoo, I take black soap, drop it in like some hot water, let it sit there for a while, let it like dissolve with the water, because the water will be hot, it'll dissolve in it, and it comes like a liquid. You let it sit for a while, then it turns to like some type of liquid. And then when you go to put it in your hair, you just put a little bit in your hair like regular shampoo and just soak it in your hair. It's really good. Or sometimes I just use my normal brands from the store. My conditioners, I just use store-bought ones, but mostly I use Human Nature or either the Tea Tree brand, depending. As far as my combs and brushes I use for my hair, especially for detangling. Detangling is very important because sometimes if you don't detangle right, you can have a lot of your hair come out, not like fall out, but like a lot of comb left in the combs. So I use either this comb, and I comb from my ends first, then I go from my hair. Or I use this comb, and before I detangle, I make sure that I always like spray some little water on it to like make my hair damp, because it'll be easier. And as far as my regular brushing, if I want to brush and detangle, I use this brush. And I just recently bought this brush offline. It works pretty good. Like, it's really good for my hair. I like it, and I ordered it off this website called So Intense. It was like $8-9. It's real good for detangling, and sometimes when I detangle my hair, sometimes I put in my conditioner and I use the brush and brush it down. It's easier to get through your hair. Even better than my combs I use. If I'm doing like a ponytail or something, or even saying my edges, I use my Eco Styling Gel. And I just started using this one. I like this one better because it holds my hair down longer. But I normally would use this Eco Styling Gel. And you also protect your hair and let it grow longer and faster by doing different protective styles. So like braids, cornrows, plaits all over, like tracks, little frontals or wigs and stuff like that. Normally, I do braids because I don't really like tracks. I don't like the hair hanging down my face. And it affects my skin, breaks my face out when I have the hair. So I normally do braids, or I do something with my actual natural hair, like twist all over or something, or bush, or like my hair wrap. I do a hair wrap, and I either do it to the front or do it to the back. And yeah, but other people use this method called the LCO or the LOC. That's like leave-in conditioner or liquids or water. The O stands for your oil. The C stands for your cream. So like curd and cream or curd and pudding. And sometimes that works for me, but I don't really do it a lot because I'm actually practicing myself keeping up with my hair, and it's kind of hard and stressful to me because I don't always have consistency. Sometimes my hair gets really dry and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I forgot to oil my hair, or I forgot this or I forgot that, especially because I be doing so much and trying to keep up with everything. Sometimes my hair comes last, but always at night I make sure that I tie it up. Either put a little do-rag on like the boys be wearing, or I tie a scarf around it. Like, I make sure I do that, but sometimes I don't oil it and grease it or put my leave-in conditioner in my hair. Now I'm going to show you maybe 2 or 3 different videos on different protective styles, someone's night routine.
Water, whether it be every day, every other day, every few days, whatever your hair needs, it's so important to continue to add water throughout the week because I feel like it just keeps your hair moisturized. It adds the water back into your hair. You don't have to worry about having dry hair. Like, I always apply it. But next, I'm going to take the Main Choice Soft As Can Be 3-in-1 Revitalize and Refresh Conditioner. This leave-in conditioner, y'all, is like so creamy, and it makes my hair so much more moisturized and so manageable. So of course I typically rotate between the conditioners and creams that I have, so this is just what I'm using today, but I could always use something else tomorrow. It just depends on how I'm feeling. But today this was a great choice because my hair needed it needed this, y'all. And it smells so good. My hair is feeling and looking so much better already, and I do not use any tools on my hair during the week. So I don't use a Denman brush, I don't use a wide tooth comb, I don't use anything on my hair unless it's wash day because I don't want to cause any extra breakage. And then last but not least, I'm going to take the Main Choice Ancient Egyptian Anti-Breakage and Repair Antidote. It is a split-in treatment serum, so it is great for preventing your ends from breaking off. It's perfect. Just take 2 pumps and then focus applying it on the ends. That is the weakest area of your hair. So yes, I do extra to make sure that part is protected. Of course, we need our styling cream or our styling gel. Today I'll be using the Main Choice Ancient Egyptian 24 karat glistening twisting gel. And this gel here, y'all, is like To me, it's a perfect mixture between a moisturizer and a gel. It's not hard. It does not make your hair hard at all. It's super duper slippery and moisturizing, so my hair always feels really soft, but of course very defined. So I have been loving it. I've been using it for a while now, but I've still been obsessed with it. And now I begin to flat twist. Voila, we have our first flat twist. Now let's go ahead and knock the other ones out.
Strand, every coil, and every coil is different, so maintaining it is a beautiful process, and that is the end of my presentation. Good afternoon, class. My name is Shakira Delhawk, and today my statement that I will be defending is whether you twist your hair, braid your hair, or leave your hair at its natural mane, your hair is natural art. There are different.
All right, so sorry, I had to hear the statement again. So, I mean, I think that you really need to push it towards art, right? You need to push it towards the class, because you were talking about how to take care of your hair, and that was perfectly fine, right? And I think you did a great job telling me about the different combs and moisturizers and how to twist your hair, how to protect your hair and stuff like that, but you weren't telling us how that was art, right? And I think you needed to relate it back to that. It needed to come back to, it's like doing it this way and doing it this way, doing it that way. Look at the art, look at the artistry, look at how much practice it takes, look at how much time it takes. You know, just like an artist, you have to do this, just like an artist, you have to do that. And then in the end, it allows you to display this, you know, this beautiful work of art because you did all the prep work for it. You know, it's just like a graphic designer doing thumbnails. You know, you have to do all the prep work to make sure that it looks right in the end. And so I think that's the one thing that was really missing, you know, is how you were relating it back to hair is art, right? That was the thing. That's the thing that was missing for this. Okay? But once again, I think you did a good job defending, you know, the part that you were actually making the statement of, which was how to take care of your hair, right? So just needed that to relate back to art. Okay? Oops.
Ways to
here, come back, see if anyone's added something last minute. Nope. Okay. All right, so yeah, so looks like that's it. Let me check in my email one last time. So anyone threw anything in? Nope. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm gonna put the remaining names of people who are on, okay, or who still need to go. We'll put those people up. And then next class will be our last class. I'll make sure to have some type of test for those people who are trying to get a traditional grade. I'll make sure to put that in so that you can do that, and hopefully, you know, that'll assuage some of you guys' fears and stuff like that. So we're gonna make sure that happens. You'll have that for next week, so don't worry about that. And yeah. We're coming down to the wire. It's the last week, and next week will be the last one. I hope you guys are, you know, feeling happy about the fact that you're almost done, and hopefully by the fall we'll be all able to go and, you know, come back to class, see each other face to face, and this whole pandemic mess will be over. Here's hoping. But as far as the semester goes, you guys are doing a great job. We've got one set of presentations left. We're going to make sure that we get to those. You know, once again, for those people who are asking for traditional grading versus the pass-fail, I'll make sure to get that last test in there so that you can you can take it. And then, yeah, and then that'll be the end of the semester. So if you don't have any questions, comments, or concerns, then I will go ahead and sign off, and then we'll have one more meeting, and we will see you guys at the next and final class. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and sign off of the stream, so it's just going to go to an end screen, but I'll stay on chat just in case, as far as, you know, if you need to ask me something, because I know that there's a delay in the stream. Okay? So thank you guys. You're doing a great job. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and stay productive, and I will see you guys for our next and final class. All right, I'll see you guys later.